What's up, YouTube? This is Josh coming at you. I got a collection video for you guys today. A while back, somebody hit me up. They said, hey man, you should really do a collection video for your system so we can kind of see the games that you have. And I thought it'd be a pretty good idea to do as well. So I'm going to start this one with one of my systems that's I have the smallest collection for, and get some tips and recommendations from you guys on how to build it up. Stay tuned. So welcome back. So before we get started with the collection, the games that I want to show you that I have in my collection, the beer that we are tasting today is the Haze IPA. This is from Firestone Walker Brewing Company. I have had them on the channel a few times. I think this is the last one of the multi-packs that I had purchased from them just to try them out and see. So far, every one of them that I've had has been really tasty. This is a 6.2% alcohol by volume. It is, of course, as I said, a California IPA. I don't know if you'd call it a West Coast. It's definitely a hazy. You can see how hazy it is. You got a little chunks of stuff floating around inside your beer. If you like chunky beer, this one's for you. Check them out. They are out of Paso, Robles, California. As I said, I've had them on before. If you are in that area, post a video up that you go to their brewery. Let me see what they got. You know, I love checking out local breweries whenever I'm out of town. I don't go out a lot, but whenever I get a chance, this one is a pretty tasty one too. So if I ever get a chance to hit their brewery, I would love to. Okay, so I've rambled on enough about the beer. Before I get started with the collection video again, I want to give a shout out to a channel. I got on the tube back here behind me. That's Lyndon with Old School Games and Stories. Now, Lyndon's channel is sitting at just below 100 subscribers. Great dude. He's actually a member of the Retro Collective. It's a group of tubers and collectors that kind of, we have a little Discord. They invited me to join them a few weeks back. It's a pretty cool group of guys. They do a lot of trades and stuff like that amongst one another. I'll be getting to some of that as soon as I can. I actually have a couple of packages to open up from a few of them, and I got some stuff I need to send out to them as well. But check out his channel. He does a lot of really cool stuff. Playthroughs of NES, Atari. He's definitely into the old school stuff. So if you like the old school stuff, like the Nintendo and the Atari, go over, check his channel out. Old School Games and Stories. I'll have him linked in the description below. So the collection, the system I should say, that I decided to show you guys my collection for, I have under 40 games for this system. As I said, it's one of the smaller ones. It's not the smallest one, but it's definitely one of the smaller ones. It is the SEGA Genesis.
What Nintendo don't.
Let's get started with the games that I do have for it. I'm going to start with my loose carts and then the ones that I have in clamshells and boxes. So I have F-15 Strike Eagle 2. What can you say about that? It's a fighter pilot game. WWF Royal Rumble. Not one of my favorites. Definitely, as I said a million times before, my favorites wrestling games have to go back to the N64. But kind of pre-N64, to be honest with you. I haven't found any games except for maybe on like old school Nintendo, like the original pro wrestling game. That was a cool game. But Hard Driving. I remember playing this one years ago back in the arcade. You had the simulator and everything. It's got the weird well, old school, I don't want to say weird, but pixelated kind of graphic style to it. It's a hard game in the arcade. I think it's harder yet on the Genesis. We got Vector Man. I need to probably upgrade my copy of this one a little bit, but this is a pretty cool platformer as well. NBA Jam. What can you say about NBA Jam? If you haven't played NBA Jam, you've been living under a rock. Probably one of the better basketball games from back in the old school generations. I'm not a big basketball guy, but that one's definitely fun. It's kind of, like I said, it's arcadey. So we have Alter Beast, classic game there. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Honestly, I'm not a Power Ranger guy. I think it came after after my time a little bit. But this was actually a pretty tough, in my opinion. I mean, I pretty well suck at fighters, but this was a pretty tough fighter game. So if you like fighters and you've never heard of this one, check that one out. We have a copy of Andretti Racing. Not a very good racing game. One of the greatest fighting games of all time, Street Fighter 2. This one is the Special Championship Edition. There were so many different editions of that game. It's kind of crazy. We've got Bugs Bunny Double Trouble. That's a pretty cool one too. I'm going to get a little bit more time with this one, but it was fun. We got Sonic Spinball. Pinball, Sonic, what can you say, right? Another cool platformer in Tasmania. That's one of the best parts about the old school 16 and 8-bit systems, man. Some of the greatest platformers. This is one that I really enjoyed a lot. I haven't played it through to completion, but I have enjoyed playing it around with it, and that's Kid Chameleon. I think it's just a really neat concept in the way that you can go through and you can turn into all the different things within the game as you go through it. It's a platformer. Pretty cool. Check that one out if you haven't. As I said, I'm kind of a Sega noob. Only over the past year and a half or so I've even been collecting or playing the Sega systems. Never had them as a kid. Never had any friends that had them, so never really got to experience them. Another classic platformer in Earthworm Jim. We have Virtua Racing in the gigantic cart. That's one of the cool things about collecting too for the Genesis is that they had all these weird, like, oddball carts that they made shapes and sizes of. And speaking of one of the oddball shapes and sizes, we have Sonic and Knuckles. Now, the vast majority of the games that I have for the Genesis, I picked up probably in 3 different kind of transactions. One was JD over at Everything Retro, my buddy JD. He and I did a trade a while back, and he sent me a bunch of Genesis games because I had like hardly anything for Genesis, and I sent him some Nintendo NES games. And then I had, of course, the big yard sale pickup way back in September, which was the really good stuff. And then I also got a bunch of games that were sent to me in like a care package by Good Morning Retro. Where are you guys at, Good Morning Retro? We miss you. All right, so the last game I have that's I don't have in a clamshell or a box is Mortal Kombat 3, and I actually need to pick a clamshell up for it because I have the instruction booklet and I even have the pocket guide for it as well. So definitely need to find a clamshell so I can complete that game. All right, so moving on to the games that I have in case. Not all of these have the manuals. I'm not going to open all of them up and all that, but kind of a lame game, but it came in a lot of other games that I picked up. NHL PA Hockey 93. We got NBA Action 94. NFL Football 94. Rest in peace, Alex Trebek. The original Jeopardy. Look how young he looks right there. We have a sealed, I haven't even opened it up because I don't know if I'm really going to play it or not, but a copy of Risk for the Genesis. So I haven't really decided what I want to do with it yet. We have a complete copy of Shaq Fu, including the music disc that came with it. One of the greatest games ever made right there. We have a complete copy of The Lion King. This is a fun platformer too, and a pretty tough one at that. I found that it was anyhow. Another really cool Disney platformer, The Jungle Book. I picked this one up about a month or so ago at the thrift shop, no less. We have Pitfall, The Mayan Adventure, as we're on to the different platformers. I actually have this one on Super Nintendo, so I'm not sure. I may get rid of the copy on Super Nintendo since this one's a complete copy here for the Genesis. We have The Simpsons, Bart's Nightmare. Ooh. We have a not so great fighting game in Eternal Champions. We have a wonderful little platformer in The Lost Vikings. And another platformer in Bram Stoker's Dracula. I've only played this one for a minute just to test it all out and check it all out and everything. It looks like a pretty cool game though. We have one that's really cool. I've enjoyed playing this one as well. Bob, this one is a platformer, and he's like a little robot, and he can get different weapons and guns, and he moves across the level, and he can transform around into other little things. He's got like a little zip line, and he can zip across, and I don't know, it's a bunch of different stuff. But if you haven't ever played it or never even heard of it, check this one out. This one's pretty neat. Yeah, just check it out. Blech, I'm sputtering along. Okay, so every collection has to have a Sonic the Hedgehog in it, right? So we have that one. We have X-Men, the original X-Men game for the Genesis. We have Monopoly. This one is a nice complete in-box. I put it in. It's one that's in the cardboard boxes, so I put it in one of these covers. We have the Sega 6-pack. This one was sent to me by RG Fam Games, another really cool YouTuber channel. we did. I actually sent him something. I didn't even ask him for anything in return, and then out of the blue he sends me this, which this was so much cooler than what I sent him, I think. But hey, very, very cool to have. And then the heavy hitters of the bunch are the ones that were in that big pickups lot that I had back in September. This one is for the Sega 32X, and this is Tempo. I'm missing the manual for this one, but this one gets a little bit pricey, and even the manual. I was gonna buy a manual just to complete it, and I think the manuals were going like for 40 or 50 bucks. So if anybody out there has a manual that they want to trade for something else, maybe we can work something out. It looks pretty neat. I haven't played this one yet because I actually haven't even hooked the 32X up to it. That's the only 32X game that I have. We have Lightning Force, really cool shooter. I'm missing the manual on this one, but as I said, these were all in one lot that I had gotten back in September. It was really, really nice. It was somebody that I know that was getting rid of the stuff, so she hooked me up for sure. So that one's pretty cool. I'm gonna try to get some footage of a couple of these games on a video or two here. And then we have a complete copy of Phantasy Star 4 in the box. Like I said, I put the little covers on them. And then the big hitter of the whole bunch, we got Splatterhouse 3. This is an awesome game right here. I haven't beat it, of course, but I have played it. I need to actually start completing games instead of just playing a little bit and then quitting and going on to something else. I got so many of them to do. But this one was this was the one out of the whole lot that I wanted the most when my friend was selling them. So definitely was excited to get that. And that is, I believe, 39 games, and that's my entire Sega Genesis collection. So what I want from you guys is, first thing I want you to do is go over and hit up Old School Games and Stories. Subscribe to his channel. Show him some love. Great guy. You guys will like him. You'll like his content, without a doubt. The second thing I want from you guys is you can see that I have a minuscule Genesis collection here. Tell me what I should get. Throw it down in the comments. Like, what game if you have a Genesis that you so highly recommend that you feel like a noob like me needs to check out. Until next time, you guys, cheers.